Ladies and gentlemen, when I first came across this story, this was probably just as disappointing as when I first came into the truth. These pastors were doing something called walking the bench. And some of you know what I'm talking about. And when I watched those videos of these pastors walking the bench, I thought that was just outrageous. Now, I guess this one right here is upping the ante, and he's now on some apparatus floating above his congregation and calling himself preaching. Ladies and gentlemen, church is nothing but a form of entertainment. You don't learn anything in these church houses, and it's intended to be that way. You can control a person if they are docile and don't know anything. They're easy to control and manipulate. So this is why they like a lot of us just walking around stupid and not knowing anything, because then they feel like they got you under control. But as soon as you start waking up and seeing the fakery for what it is, then you are hated because, damn it, I can't control that one. That one won't let me control them. These ministers have done nothing but aid and abet in our oppression. They could have spent their time in the church houses teaching our people who they were. But instead of doing that, they're still following along the lines of what pastors did back in chattel slavery. Just go over certain sermons, quote you certain verses, and staying along those lines, keeping you believing that this state that we're in is the state we're supposed to be in. And we know that all is not entirely true, especially when you start getting into all of the things that led up to this. But this was never how it was intended to be until our people, we just won't wake up and learn. We just won't. And these pastors, they don't want to teach you who you are because, see, they want to continue to get paid. So instead of taking that money and helping a poor member in his congregation or helping somebody that might have lost their job or help someone pay a bill in his congregation, he took the money and bought some apparatus for him to float on. These congregations don't need all of that. In fact, they don't even need to be in these church houses at all. But ladies and gentlemen, these are the kind of things these pastors are doing. The sad part is a lot of these churches are in the Black community. They collect millions of dollars every single Sunday, and the communities that these churches sit in are crumbling. These pastors in their churches do not help the community. Not to mention, they will throw people out that are tithing, that won't tithe or can't tithe because they are poor. Or if a person pass away and they did not tithe, they refuse to do their funerals. I've read several stories like that over the years. That is just straight up evil. But unfortunately, too many of our folks are more than happy to pay their money for this buffoonery every single week. I mean, just when he's floating over the crowd, I'm only going to play a few seconds of this. When he's floating over the crowd, I want you to notice how big the crowd size is in this church. They are paying to watch this nonsense. But let me go ahead and play the video.
When the sky is cracked And Jesus Christ comes again, and every eye will see him when he comes again. So here's our question for you.
You see that? You see how big the crowd is? That's what I want you to notice. Our people will gladly go to church and just sit there. And what is the purpose of this? What does this have any ties to the Most High? How is this tied to the Most High? It's not. Okay? Him being suspended up like that looks like something that you would go see at a concert or in a circus. This is not, what does this got to do with the Most High? It has nothing to do with him. Okay? When you look at this, where in the Bible does it say preach the word and float over your people when you're doing it? It doesn't say that anywhere. This is just buffoonery. And all of these people are dressed up in the crowd, and they probably think what this pastor is doing is something so extraordinary. And he's probably close to the Lord. And oh, no, none of the above. This man is doing what he needs to do to get more money into the collection plate. That's all that's going on here. This is not necessary. But, ladies and gentlemen, don't be surprised if more pastors will start doing this in their churches. Don't be surprised. This is just outrageous. But I remember all the outrageous things even when I was growing up. I remember, some of y'all might remember Reverend Ike. That used to make me laugh. He would have people, actors really, and they would pretend like they had all these illnesses and couldn't walk. And then he would hold up a piece of chicken or a piece of beef saying, "I got the cancer. I got the cancer." I mean, it was just stupid. And then you had the Carney. Do y'all remember Carney Thomas, or that used to be on? Oh my goodness, it was just so many of them. I think I have lost count. But this pastor is out of a South Haven church, and this video that you just watched, the little snippet I showed you, went viral Sunday afternoon, just hours after it was posted. It had over 1 million views. And then on Monday, it jumped to 2 million views. The Facebook comments identified the pastor as Reverend Bartholomew Orr from Brown Missionary Church. When contacted, Orr said the high-flying stunt was born from a mix of simple curiosity and a desire to deliver Sunday's gospel message in an innovative way, or how to be a digital disciple, which none of that. Most High did not tell you to be a digital disciple. Again, nobody told you to float above your people when given the word. This, ladies and gentlemen, is taking it way too far. It really is. How can we use the message of Jesus Christ through the internet? The pastor asked. Well, you don't. Nobody needed the internet before to give the word, and you shouldn't need the internet for that now. Ladies and gentlemen, these folks are never going to learn anything from a pastor like this. Okay? They're not. And it just makes my stomach turn to see how packed that church is. Orr was on the balcony of Brown South Haven campus when staff was going through flight school, sort of a rehearsal for the church singing Christmas tree production. And that's another thing, y'all. Not only do they have white Jesus in the church, they now got a Christmas tree in all of them across America, knowing all of that is fake. The rigging for the suspension wires was already in place from previous years' performances. Oh, they've been doing this for years. We have angels floating down during the production and all kinds of elements, or said. I was up there watching the other characters from the Christmas production go through flight school, and something in me said, hey, I want to try this, or was rigged up and took a test flight, which was captured in a short video and posted to the church's Instagram account just for fun. To my surprise, Orr said, people started commenting, saying that they couldn't wait for the sermon on Sunday. That's when I turned to my wife and I said, I guess I might have to fly in. As planned, Orr flew in from the balcony Sunday morning while delivering a message about Christ's eventual return. As Orr's legs dangled above his congregation, he asked, my brothers and sisters, are you ready? Are you ready for his return? Oh my goodness. Wouldn't it be something if that thing snapped and he fell on his congregation? I'm just saying. Or was not ready for the internet response. It just goes to show you, or said, you never know what the Lord might use to get his message out. He wasn't using that. Don't look, y'all, don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. If he got a message for somebody, that was a demon that gave him that message. Among the fray of the post comment section, a theme emerged that questioned the use of church funds for Orr's acrobatic antics. And that's exactly what I'm saying. A lot of these congregations always have people that are struggling. And this is what he put the money towards, floating above the congregation. Okay. And they're just saying how his congregation members were very quick to defend and praise him for what he did, and talking about out of the box. No, that's not out of the box. The people of God will cut your throat over their pastor. It's not a game. Well, you know what? It is a game. When you're resorting to that, that's exactly what it is. And they will cut your throat because those folks are just lost and don't have any better sense. With a laugh, Pastor Orr said that some of his congregation might have defended a little too fiercely. What wasn't captured on video was Orr's ascent at the end of his sermon back up to the balcony from whence he came. Okay, so he came down and then he went back on the apparatus after the service was over. I told my wife I'll fly in, deliver the message, and fly back out, Orr said. Brown Missionary had 2 locations in South Haven, and the fly in occurred at the auxiliary campus where their singing Christmas tree will go live in December. When asked if he planned to do something similar at the church on the main campus, Orr's wife had an answer. She said, absolutely not. Well, what's the point in saying no now? You already did the deed. What is that supposed to do? Oh my goodness. Woo, man, I thank the Most High that I got out of these churches. I don't go near them anymore. They have nothing in these churches that I want. Seriously. But please tell me what you think of this madness, y'all. a floating pastor. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.